Your soulmate is being tested before coming back to you, my child. Pause right here and listen with your heart, not with the noise around you, because this message did not reach you by accident. This moment was arranged with intention, and the fact that you are reading this now is the first sign that something important is unfolding behind the scenes. Your soulmate's journey is active, even if it looks quiet to you. What is meant to return to you is never tested randomly. It is tested intentionally. My child, tests do not come to remove what belongs to you. They come to reveal what is real. Anything fragile collapses under pressure, but anything true strengthens. Your soulmate is not being tested to see if they will forget you. They are being tested to see if they can return without repeating the same cycles that once created distance. Love that returns without growth does not stay for long. Your soulmate is facing situations that seem ordinary but carry heavy meaning, choices, temptations, delays, and familiar patterns calling them back. Each moment is quietly asking the same question: will you choose comfort, or will you choose truth? This test is not only about love, it is about character, and character determines whether love can last. You may feel this testing season as silence, distance, or emotional uncertainty. That does not mean love is fading. It means transformation is happening where you cannot interfere. Growth cannot be rushed, borrowed, or explained away. It must be lived. What must be lived cannot be skipped. This test is revealing to your soulmate what words never could. They are learning that not every open door is aligned, that not every connection feeds the soul, and that distraction feels exciting at first but empty later. These lessons take time, but they are permanent, and lessons learned through experience do not repeat easily. You may wonder why you cannot help, why you cannot step in, why you must remain still while they struggle. Hear this clearly: interference would weaken the lesson. This is not punishment, this is preparation. What they must learn has to come from life itself, because what life teaches is remembered deeply. Your soulmate's test may involve temptation, not always romantic, but emotional. The temptation to settle, to avoid accountability, to repeat what feels familiar instead of choosing what is aligned. They are learning that familiar does not mean destined. Destiny does not feel familiar, it feels right. Even during this testing season, notice something important: the connection between you and your soulmate does not disappear. It may quiet, it may retreat, but it survives. This persistence is not coincidence. What is rooted survives seasons of silence. This test is also protecting you. Love will not be allowed to return to you unstable, confused, or half-ready. When your soulmate comes back, they must come back with clarity, not excuses, with maturity, not confusion. What is protected is refined before it returns. Your role right now is not to chase, compete, or question your worth. Your role is to remain anchored, to stay open without becoming anxious, to trust without forcing outcomes. This is not weakness, it is alignment. Alignment attracts what chasing never can. Your soulmate is being tested on honesty, first with themselves. They are learning that avoiding truth costs more than facing it, that silence without growth becomes avoidance, and that delay without purpose becomes stagnation. These realizations are uncomfortable, but they are necessary, because necessary lessons always feel heavy before they feel freeing. You may feel waves of sadness or longing. Do not judge yourself for feeling. Feeling does not mean failure. But do not let feelings write conclusions. Feelings pass, while truth remains. Love that can stand does not collapse under pressure. This season is separating impulse from intention. Anyone can feel love, but few can sustain it with consistency and responsibility. Your soulmate is learning that coming back requires more than emotion, it requires readiness, and readiness decides whether love stays. You may notice subtle signs that growth is happening even without proof, a sense of calm returning, inevitability replacing urgency. These are not illusions, they are confirmations. When truth is settling, fear grows quiet. Do not measure this season by time, measure it by transformation. Transformation does not follow clocks, it follows surrender. When your soulmate completes what this test is teaching, movement will happen naturally. What is obvious does not need to be chased. This test is not here to break you. It is here to strengthen both of you differently, you in trust, them in responsibility. These strengths will meet, and what survives testing does not need reassurance. Remain grounded. Remain open. Your soulmate is being tested, not to be taken away, but to return ready. My child, this testing season is moving deeper now, beyond surface lessons and into the core of who your soulmate is becoming. What began as external situations is turning inward. They are no longer only reacting to circumstances, they are questioning themselves. They are asking hard questions they avoided before. Questions about responsibility, consistency, and what it truly means to choose love instead of convenience. This stage is quieter, but it is more serious than anything that came before. Your soulmate is being shown that feelings alone are not enough. Love that is not supported by action eventually collapses under its own weight. They are realizing that wanting you is different from being ready for you. This realization is sobering. It removes fantasy and replaces it with accountability. They are beginning to understand that returning to you means showing up differently, not just coming back emotionally but standing firm in behavior. You may sense this phase as a deeper stillness, almost like nothing is happening at all. Do not mistake stillness for stagnation. Stillness is where truth settles. Your soulmate is confronting the parts of themselves that once avoided responsibility, delayed decisions, or relied on excuses. These confrontations are uncomfortable, but they are necessary. Love that avoids self-examination cannot last. This test is exposing patterns your soulmate can no longer deny. Patterns of running when things become serious. Patterns of choosing ease over depth. Patterns of silence instead of communication. They are seeing clearly now that these patterns cost them more than they protected them. Awareness is forming, and awareness changes behavior permanently. You may feel moments where doubt tries to return. You may wonder if this process is taking too long or if you are being forgotten. Let this truth settle in you: what is being rebuilt from the inside cannot be rushed from the outside. Your soulmate is not drifting away, they are being restructured. What is being restructured does not move quickly, but it moves correctly. This season is also reshaping how your soulmate views you. They are no longer idealizing or romanticizing you from a distance. Instead, they are recognizing the stability, patience, and depth you carry. They are seeing that the connection with you was never chaotic, only unfamiliar to a version of themselves that was not ready. This recognition brings humility, and humility prepares the heart for reunion. You may notice that you are being asked to release expectations during this time. Not hope, but expectations about timing, behavior, or outcomes. Expectations create pressure. Trust creates space. Space allows truth to complete its work. This release is not loss, it is alignment. You are being prepared to receive what returns without fear controlling your response. Your soulmate is also being tested on consistency. It is one thing to feel strongly in moments of emotion. It is another to choose steadily in moments of boredom, stress, or temptation. They are learning whether they can remain aligned even when no one is watching, even when distraction is available. This lesson matters more than passion ever could. You may feel your own strength growing quietly during this phase. You are learning how to hold love without clinging, how to care without controlling, how to trust without constant reassurance. This growth is not accidental. It ensures that when love returns, it meets someone grounded, not reactive. Peaceful, not anxious. This test is also separating intention from illusion. Your soulmate is learning that intention without action is self-deception. They are being confronted with the reality that love demands presence, honesty, and follow-through. These realizations are heavy, but they are stabilizing. Stability is what allows love to endure. You may notice that your intuition feels clearer now. Less noise. Less guessing. More quiet knowing. This is because alignment is forming on both sides. When alignment forms, confusion loses its grip. You do not need constant signs when truth is being built beneath the surface. This phase is not about punishment or delay. It is about readiness. Love that returns unprepared creates cycles. Love that returns prepared creates peace. Your soulmate is being shaped to return without repeating the same mistakes that once caused separation. Do not interpret the quiet as absence. Quiet is where foundations are reinforced. What is being reinforced now will not crumble easily later. This is protection, not neglect. As this season continues, you are being asked to remain open but grounded. Not guarded, not closed, not hardened by waiting. Openness does not make you vulnerable to harm, it makes you receptive to truth. Grounded openness is strength. When this testing phase completes, movement will not need to be forced. It will not feel dramatic or urgent. It will feel natural, almost inevitable. Truth does not announce itself loudly when it has already been accepted inwardly. Remember this as you move forward. What is being tested is not love itself, but readiness for love. And readiness, once formed, does not disappear. Remain steady. Remain open. What is being prepared now is preparing to return whole. My child, this testing season has now reached its most important layer. The place where your soulmate is no longer being shaped by circumstances, but by choice. What began as external pressure has turned into an internal reckoning. They are no longer asking what feels good in the moment, they are asking what will still feel right months and years from now. This is where maturity is formed, and this is why the process feels slow. Slow does not mean uncertain. Slow means thorough. Your soulmate is being asked to sit with themselves in ways they avoided before. Silence is no longer just absence of communication, it has become a mirror. In that mirror, they are seeing patterns clearly, how they once ran when things required depth, how they delayed when honesty demanded courage, how they mistook freedom for avoidance. These realizations are not loud. They are quiet, heavy, and transformative. What is seen clearly cannot be unseen. They are beginning to understand that love is not proven by emotion alone. Emotion can surge and fade. Love is proven by consistency, by presence, by the willingness to choose the same truth even when it is inconvenient. This understanding is changing how they view returning to you. They are no longer thinking about reunion as relief from loneliness. They are thinking about it as responsibility. Responsibility to communicate. Responsibility to stay. Responsibility to grow instead of retreat. You may feel this phase as a deep pause, almost as if time itself has slowed. That pause is intentional. Rushing through this stage would only recreate old cycles. Your soulmate is being stripped of excuses. They are seeing clearly that circumstances were not always the reason things fell apart, avoidance was. This realization is humbling, and humility is required before anything stable can be rebuilt. This season is also forcing your soulmate to confront fear directly. Fear of commitment. Fear of being seen fully. Fear of failing again. These fears are not being removed instantly. They are being faced one by one. Facing fear does not look dramatic. It looks like staying present instead of running. Choosing honesty instead of silence. Accepting discomfort instead of escaping it. These choices are forming new internal foundations. You may notice that even without contact, the emotional tie between you has not dissolved. That is because what connects you is not habit, it is recognition. Recognition does not disappear when distance exists. In fact, distance often sharpens it. Your soulmate is realizing that what they felt with you was not chaos, but stability that their past self did not know how to hold. This realization reframes the entire connection. During this phase, you are also being refined. You are learning how to trust without guarantees, how to remain loving without waiting anxiously, how to hold space without losing yourself. This is not preparation for suffering, it is preparation for discernment. When love returns, you will not accept confusion simply because it feels familiar. You will recognize stability because you have practiced it within yourself. Your soulmate is also being tested on integrity, whether they can align their actions with their values consistently, not just in moments of clarity. Integrity is built when no one is watching, when temptation is present, when shortcuts appear. They are learning that choosing alignment repeatedly builds peace, while choosing avoidance builds restlessness. This lesson is reshaping their inner world. You may feel moments where impatience tries to surface. That does not mean you lack faith. It means you are human. But patience in this season is not passive endurance. It is active trust. It is choosing not to interfere with a process that must complete itself fully. What returns incomplete would only reopen wounds that are now being healed properly. This stage is also dissolving illusions your soulmate once held about love. Illusions that love should always feel exciting. Illusions that commitment limits freedom. Illusions that silence avoids conflict. These illusions are being replaced with truth, that depth brings peace, that commitment brings stability, and that silence without honesty creates distance. Truth simplifies what illusion complicated. You may notice that your emotional reactions are softer now than they once were. Less panic. Less urgency. More grounded awareness. This is not detachment. This is growth. You are no longer trying to control outcomes. You are allowing alignment to unfold. This shift matters, because love that returns to control will feel suffocating, while love that returns to trust will feel safe. Your soulmate is also being shown that returning to you is not about fixing the past, it is about not repeating it. They are understanding that apologies without change are empty, and intentions without follow-through are fragile. This understanding is heavy, but it is stabilizing. Stability is what ensures that when they do come back, they come back differently. This phase may feel invisible to the outside world, but it is the most decisive phase of all. Decisions are being made internally that will shape behavior externally. Once these decisions settle, movement will follow naturally. There will be no dramatic announcement, no emotional chaos. There will simply be clarity turning into action. Do not interpret this season as you being put on hold. You are not waiting for someone to choose you, you are allowing someone to become capable of choosing responsibly. That difference protects your heart. What returns after this will not require you to question your worth or wonder where you stand. As this testing continues, remember that nothing real is being lost. What is unstable is being removed. What is unready is being reshaped. What is aligned is being strengthened. This is not delay for the sake of delay. This is preparation for peace. Remain open, but remain grounded. Do not harden your heart, and do not chase reassurance. Trust that what is meant to return will return with clarity, consistency, and respect, not confusion. What is being tested now is not love's existence, but love's ability to endure. And endurance, once formed, does not disappear. Stay steady. Stay present. What is being prepared is learning how to stay. Don't scroll past this moment. Stay right here with me, my child, because what I am about to reveal now explains why the testing is nearing completion and what must settle before your soulmate can come back to you fully and correctly. This phase is not about struggle anymore, it is about alignment locking into place. What feels quiet now is actually decisive. When truth finishes forming inside a person, the outer world soon follows. Your soulmate has entered a stage where excuses no longer comfort them. What once felt like justification now feels hollow. They can no longer blame timing, circumstances, or other people for what they avoided. This is not self-punishment, it is responsibility awakening. Responsibility is heavy, but it is also stabilizing. Without it, love cannot stand. With it, love becomes safe. They are now seeing clearly that returning to you is not about emotion alone. It is about showing up consistently, even when things are uncomfortable, ordinary, or demanding. They are understanding that love is proven in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, when temptation appears, when effort is required without immediate reward. These realizations are reshaping how they view commitment itself. You may feel this phase as a strange calm mixed with uncertainty. Less pain, but also less clarity. That is because you are no longer in the storm, you are in the settling. When storms pass, the air feels still before movement resumes. This stillness is not absence, it is preparation. Something is stabilizing beneath the surface. Your soulmate is also confronting regret in a healthy way. Not the kind that traps them in shame, but the kind that teaches. They are recognizing moments where they chose avoidance over honesty, distance over communication, comfort over courage. These realizations are painful, but they are corrective. What is corrected does not repeat easily. This is also the phase where your soulmate stops romanticizing the past and starts respecting the future. They are no longer longing for what was, they are considering what could be built properly. This shift matters deeply. Longing alone brings people back temporarily. Respect brings them back responsibly. You may notice that your own heart feels less reactive now. You are not waiting for signs with the same urgency. You are not checking for proof as often. This is not detachment, it is trust forming. Trust not just in them, but in yourself. You are learning that you will not accept love that comes back unchanged. This discernment is protecting you. Your soulmate is also being tested on patience, the ability to wait without numbing themselves with distraction. They are learning to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. This skill is essential. Anyone can return when emotions are high. Only someone ready can stay when emotions settle. This readiness is being formed now. This stage is also dissolving fear-based thinking. Fear once told them that commitment meant loss of freedom. Now they are seeing that lack of commitment created instability. Fear once told them silence was safer. Now they see silence created distance. These mental shifts are not dramatic, but they are permanent. What the mind relearns at this level does not easily revert. You may feel moments where hope feels quieter. Do not confuse quiet hope with fading hope. Quiet hope is grounded. Loud hope is anxious. You are no longer hoping to be chosen, you are trusting that what returns must be worthy of staying. This internal shift changes everything. Your soulmate is also learning that love is not proven by grand gestures after absence, but by steady presence after return. They are understanding that consistency matters more than intensity. This understanding ensures that when they do come back, they do not come back temporarily. They come back prepared to remain. This phase is removing fantasy on both sides. Fantasy says love should be easy once feelings exist. Reality says love becomes possible only after growth. You are both being aligned with reality now, not illusion. Reality may take longer, but it lasts longer too. You may sense that something is about to shift, even if you cannot name how. That sense is not imagination. When internal decisions finalize, energy changes. Life begins arranging opportunities, timing, and movement quietly. What has been forming internally will soon seek expression externally. Do not rush this final stage. Rushing would undo the depth that has been built. Let readiness finish its work. Let responsibility settle fully. Let truth become natural rather than forced. What returns prematurely breaks easily. What returns prepared holds weight. Remember this, my child. Love that survives testing returns with humility. Love that matures returns with clarity. Love that is aligned returns with peace. Remain open, but remain grounded. What is finishing now is not delay, it is preparation reaching completion. Stay right here, don't skip this moment. My child, What I am about to reveal now is the final inner work being completed before your soulmate can truly come back to you in the right way. This stage is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is quiet, weighty, and decisive. What is happening now is not about testing emotions anymore, it is about testing consistency. And consistency is the last gate before reunion. Your soulmate has reached a point where temporary change no longer satisfies them. They are no longer interested in brief clarity followed by old habits. They are being confronted with a deeper question: can you live the truth you now understand, not just recognize it? This question cannot be answered in words. It can only be answered through repeated choice. And that is exactly what they are being asked to do now. This phase is teaching them endurance. Endurance is different from intensity. Intensity burns fast and fades. Endurance remains steady even when nothing exciting is happening. Your soulmate is learning how to stay aligned when life feels ordinary, when no emotional rush is present, when no one is applauding their growth. This lesson is critical, because love does not live only in emotional highs, it lives in daily steadiness. You may notice that this stage feels longer than the others. That is because habits take time to rewire. Patterns that were repeated for years cannot be undone in moments of insight. Your soulmate is practicing new responses. Choosing communication instead of withdrawal. Choosing honesty instead of silence. Choosing presence instead of avoidance. These choices may look small, but they are foundational. This is also the phase where excuses finally lose their power. What once sounded reasonable now feels empty to them. They can no longer justify inconsistency or emotional distance. They are realizing that love does not need perfect circumstances, it needs willingness. This realization is sobering, but it is freeing. It places responsibility back where it belongs. You may feel less emotional turbulence now, but also less certainty. This is normal. When outcomes are no longer being imagined obsessively, the mind quiets. Quiet does not mean nothing is happening. Quiet means trust has replaced urgency. You are no longer trying to predict the future, you are allowing it to form properly. Your soulmate is also being tested on self-respect. They are learning that returning to you without being ready would dishonor both of you. They are realizing that love is not about access, it is about stewardship. Stewardship of your heart, of their growth, of the connection itself. This realization is what prevents repeating cycles. This phase is also where your soulmate confronts the cost of not changing. They are seeing clearly what they would lose, not hypothetically, but realistically, if they stayed the same. This is not fear-based motivation. It is clarity-based motivation. Clarity changes direction permanently. You may notice that you feel stronger now than you did earlier in this journey. Stronger in discernment. Stronger in boundaries. Stronger in self-trust. This strength is not accidental. It ensures that when your soulmate returns, you will not accept words without consistency or promises without proof. You are being prepared to receive love with wisdom, not desperation. Your soulmate is also learning patience with themselves. Growth is uncomfortable, and they are realizing that rushing their own transformation would only lead to relapse. They are learning to move slowly, honestly, and intentionally. This patience will translate into how they love you later, with care, not impulsiveness. This stage is removing the final illusions. Illusions that love alone fixes everything. Illusions that feelings guarantee change. Illusions that returning is the same as repairing. These illusions are dissolving, making room for realism. Realism does not weaken love, it stabilizes it. You may feel moments of neutrality. Neither hopeful nor hopeless. This neutrality is actually balance. Balance means you are no longer emotionally dependent on a specific outcome. You trust that whatever returns must be aligned, and whatever does not was never meant to stay. This balance protects your heart deeply. Your soulmate is now integrating lessons instead of just understanding them. Integration is when insight becomes behavior. This is the slowest but most important part of growth. Once behavior changes, relapse becomes unlikely. This is why this stage matters so much. Life around both of you may feel quieter now. Fewer signs. Fewer emotional spikes. This is intentional. Noise would distract from integration. Quiet allows new habits to settle. Foundations are being reinforced here, not built on excitement, but on discipline and choice. You may sense that something is close, but undefined. That sense is accurate. Completion does not announce itself loudly. It settles first. When completion settles internally, movement follows naturally. There will be no confusion when it happens. You will recognize readiness instantly. This stage is ensuring that when your soulmate comes back, they do not come back seeking reassurance, they come back offering stability. They do not come back unsure, they come back grounded. They do not come back to test the connection, they come back to honor it. Do not rush this moment. Do not try to read into every sign. Let readiness finish forming. What is being completed now will determine how long peace lasts later. Remember this truth, my child. Love that passes every test does not return fragile. Love that endures consistency returns dependable. Love that matures fully returns ready to stay. Remain open, but remain grounded. What is finishing now is not delay, it is durability being formed. Stay with me, this is the moment everything begins to settle. My child, what I am sharing now is the quiet completion of the testing you have been witnessing from a distance. This is the stage where preparation becomes readiness, where inner alignment turns into outward direction. Nothing feels rushed here because nothing needs to be. What is real has already been established. What remains is acceptance, full, grounded acceptance of the truth your soulmate now carries. Your soulmate has reached a point where they can no longer ignore what they know. The lessons learned are no longer abstract ideas, they have become internal standards. They know now what avoidance costs. They know what inconsistency damages. They know what silence breaks. This knowing is not emotional, it is settled. And once something settles at this level, it does not shift easily. This phase is marked by a quiet resolve. Not excitement. Not anxiety. Resolve. Your soulmate is no longer asking whether they should change, they are living as if change is already required. Their inner dialogue has shifted from, "Do I want this?" to, "Am I willing to live this way consistently?" That shift is everything. Desire can fade. Willingness sustains. You may feel a deep calm mixed with anticipation during this time. Not the anxious anticipation of waiting, but the steady awareness that something is aligning. This calm is not accidental. It appears when resistance dissolves. You are no longer trying to control the process. You are trusting it. Trust changes how waiting feels. Your soulmate is also coming to terms with accountability. Accountability not as guilt, but as ownership. Ownership of their choices, their silence, their past delays. Ownership does not shame, it empowers. When a person owns their impact, they become capable of choosing differently without resentment. This is essential before reunion can happen. This stage is also solidifying boundaries. Your soulmate is learning where they must stand firm, with themselves first. They are realizing that returning to you requires protecting the connection from the very habits that once weakened it. Boundaries are not restrictions, they are safeguards. Safeguards allow love to remain healthy instead of draining. You may notice that you are no longer replaying the past as often. Old conversations hold less emotional charge. Memories feel neutral instead of painful. This is healing. Healing does not erase memory, it removes its power. You are being prepared to meet what returns without reopening old wounds unnecessarily. Your soulmate is also learning the value of consistency over reassurance. They are understanding that saying the right words means nothing if behavior does not follow. This awareness is reshaping how they view communication itself. They no longer want to promise, they want to demonstrate. Demonstration is quieter, but it lasts. This phase is also where timing becomes clear. Not a date, not a deadline, but a sense of when it feels right. Rushing no longer appeals to them. Neither does delaying unnecessarily. Balance is forming. Balance allows movement without fear. You may sense that your expectations have softened. You are not imagining dramatic reunions or emotional speeches. You are open to simplicity. This openness is wisdom. Real reconnection rarely looks theatrical. It looks natural. It feels calm. It arrives without needing to convince you. Your soulmate is now aligned enough to recognize that coming back is not about reclaiming the past, it is about building something new on stronger ground. This understanding prevents regression. They are not seeking familiarity, they are seeking stability. This stage is also reinforcing your own boundaries. You know now what you will not accept again. You are not closing your heart, you are clarifying it. Clarification ensures that love returning does not feel overwhelming or confusing. It feels safe. Life around you may feel slower now. Less signs. Less emotional stimulation. This slowing is intentional. Integration needs space. Space allows truth to root itself deeply. When roots are deep, storms do not uproot easily. Your soulmate is learning to live without distraction as a coping mechanism. They are facing their inner world directly. This courage matters. People who can sit with themselves can stay with others. This ability is being formed now. You may feel moments of gratitude emerging unexpectedly, not because everything is resolved, but because you trust the direction. Gratitude appears when fear releases control. You are no longer bracing for disappointment. You are allowing alignment. This phase ensures that when your soulmate does come back, they do not come back seeking validation. They come back offering presence. They do not come back to test your availability. They come back with intention. They do not come back unsure. They come back grounded. Do not rush what is settling. Do not question the quiet. Quiet is confirmation. When something is ready, it does not announce itself loudly, it arrives steadily. Remember this, my child. What completes testing does not return fragile. What finishes preparation does not return uncertain. What matures fully returns capable of staying. Remain open. Remain grounded. What is aligning now is not almost ready, it is becoming real.